Welcome back to my fish basement. Look at my beautiful fish over here. Today we're committing more OSHA violations. In today's videos, we have 2 pieces of electrical equipment over a body of water. You guys think OSHA's gonna be happy about this one? 2 dehumidifiers over a body of water? Yeah, they'll be fine with it, right? Supported by none other than this flimsy little piece of wood. So today we're gonna fix this situation here. We're gonna get a much thicker piece of wood that is not about to crumble, because if this thing crumbles, both of these things fall into the water. I don't even want to know what happens if those things get dunked into the water. So we got to get a much better piece of wood over there. Let's start by taking some measurements. Tape measure time. We'll call it 37 inches wide. So we'll have this be like 34 inches long. What do you think, Oreo? Is that a good length for our new OSHA violation? What are your thoughts, Oreo?
That's perfectly good to go.
So we got to find a much thicker piece of wood and make that 34 by 37. Yeah, 34 by 37. It is a very crisp day here in New Hampshire. Very cold, very icy, very snowy. Honestly, I am ready for winter to be over. But that's okay. The show goes on. We are now in the garage where we got a lot of wood. We got a lot of different kinds of wood in here. I'm sure I can find a piece of wood to suit my problem. Okay, we definitely got a lot of wood in here. I don't know if this thing is wide enough. Let's measure. Okay, this piece of wood is only 24 inches thick. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna use this piece of wood anyway because I actually got a plan. I just gotta make sure that I can get this thing off of here safely. And that might be a problem. Just let me pull you off. Okay. Come on, buddy. Come on. All right, we almost got it. Okay, we got it. Maybe we got off a little more than we could chew here. All right, that's good. That's good. Woo! All right, we got our piece of wood here. Now you can see it's a little bit thinner than we need, but it's much, much longer. So we're just gonna cut a piece and then cut a piece. Put them together, we're good to go. Okay, we got our 2 pieces of wood. I actually changed my plan halfway through. So we're gonna have a cut right here for the pipe on the back side of the tub, and then an opening right here as well for the tubes that are gonna go in. And these are just gonna sit side by side. So I'm actually not going to be attaching these together. Also, these boards are very dirty. They got like the bar and chain oil from the chainsaw and like sawdust all over them. So I'm just gonna wash them out here in the snow. Just gonna give them a good old snow rub. Hopefully get all the crap off of them. Okay, let's get these guys back on here. Oy. All right, we got dehumidifier number 1, and we got its exit tube. And we got dehumidifier number 2 over here. And we got its exit tube. That's going down there. All right. There we go. And you know what? Let's add a 3rd dehumidifier for good measure, right? Doesn't hurt to have a little extra dryness here in the very, very wet fish basement. I just took a much needed nap. But now we're gonna do a little bit of maintenance in the fish basement, but first I wanna show you guys a few things. This guy right here is our aquatic cricket, Felix. So Felix was this annoying cricket that he was in my fish basement making a lot of noise. So I threw him in the snapping turtle tank because I wanted one of my snapping turtles to eat him. But when I just threw him in here, this guy learned how to swim like real quickly. And then right now he's still in the water, but he could find his way to the platform super easy. And the snapping turtles won't eat him. The cricket is on the head of the snapping turtle, and he's not even eating him. Are you gonna eat the cricket? I don't think so. Oh boy, you guys see what we got there? We got a male guppy chasing a female guppy. You know what happens when a male guppy chases a female guppy? We get all those little guys. We get all the little there's so many baby guppies in here, look at this. And also, everyone and their mother has been asking me, when am I gonna sell goldfish again? When am I gonna list some goldfish for sale? Well, guess what, guys? Currently, I have a little bit too many goldfish. I have a little bit too many goldfish, more than I can really handle right now, so I will be selling. There are 3 different kinds of fish that I'm gonna be selling. The first kind of fish are gonna be these, multicolored assorted Chinese ranchu. So these were actually the little babies that I got from Luminous. I grew them out a little bit in my tanks, during the fall. But now I gotta sell a bunch off. I'm gonna keep some of my favorites, like this guy right here. That's a nice chunky ranchu. I like him. But I'm gonna be selling a lot of these guys off. That's the first kind of goldfish I'm selling. The second kind of goldfish I'm selling are these guys. So actually, this guy's pretty cute. I might keep him. But these dorsal fin ranchus, I might be selling some of these guys. He has some swimming problems, so not him. But I'm going to be selling some of these guys just because, I really got no use for them. I don't think I'd breed them any further. They're not like a breedable fish just because they're weird. They got dorsals, but they're from a ranchu, so they're really like an ending pet. So I might sell these guys. I just I don't have a reason to keep them. And the third kind of goldfish that I'm going to be selling a little more of now are the Millie and Jiggly codes. These Jiggly codes, again, I got all these guys here. I got all these guys here, not you. And I got all these guys here. I gotta sell some of these guys off. I won't be selling you, you little chunky chicken nugget. You little fat excuse for a fish, you. My goodness, you're beautiful. I'm gonna be selling maybe half of my Jiggly codes. I really gotta cut my numbers down a little bit here. I got so many of these guys. And I'm also gonna be selling Cheeseball over here. I'm actually gonna put him up for auction. The starting bid for Cheeseball will be $10,000. He's a no, I'm joking, guys. But honestly, if someone offered me $10,000, I would sell Cheeseball in a heartbeat. I wouldn't even have to think about it. If anybody wants Cheeseball and has 10 G's lying around, hit me up. This greenhouse is gonna be expensive. I'll take it. And I will soon begin selling some of these glass-bellied guppies. We really are getting a lot of them. We really are beginning to get a lot of glass-bellied guppies. But I want basically the babies. I want these babies to get big enough to where they start having babies before I actually start selling any. So I want to make sure that I can get a second generation going before I begin to sell any off. I want to have a good stock of these glass-bellied guppies. It has been a good long while since I've cleaned any of the glass in my fish tanks, and I never clean the back glass or the bottom glass or the side glass. I really only clean the front glass. I'm only interested in being able to see my fish. So if it's not blocking my view of the fish, honestly, I just leave it. But I want to have a nice, clear way to see them. This is probably 2 weeks with no glass cleaning, which honestly is pretty good. For such a highly stocked tank, you're probably thinking, how the heck, is your glass not even that dirty? Like the front glass is not even that dirty. For 2 whole weeks, without cleaning, honestly, just have your lights on for less time during the day. So I have these lights on for like 5 or 6 hours a day. And besides that, it's just like the normal room lights. And that will severely cut down your algae growth, because algae grows for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is it has a food. The food is the poop and waste and ammonia of the goldfish, the nitrates, the phosphates. That's the reason the algae grows. The second reason is it needs energy. It needs energy and it needs food. And the energy is light. Algae does photosynthesis just like plants. So if you cut off a plant's feed from its roots, it'll die. And if you cut off the sunlight, it'll die. So if you wanna treat an algae problem the same way, you gotta go for one of the two. If you attack both of them, that's the best of both worlds. So something I want to start doing is I want to make these tanks lower maintenance. The amount of waste these guys produce and the amount of water changes needed is honestly it's a massive headache. It is a lot of work. I want to get them a little bit lower maintenance. So I've been thinking of you know, looking at ways to not eliminate the need for water changes, but severely lower them. And one of those ways is having a system where nitrate gets consumed. Now, I've seen there are thick gravel beds you can get where nitrate gets consumed from anaerobic bacteria underneath there. So I've been thinking about that. I've also been thinking about, you know, doing that combined with plants, combined with some sort of plant that the goldfish will not eat. So if any of you guys out there have any recommendations for some systems, or have tried this for yourself and found a good way to get your maintenance on your goldfish tanks like severely reduced, let me know in the comments below. Let me know, because it is getting a lot to manage all these tanks. And if I could find a way to get some more good, you know, hardy plants that aren't gonna die in here. Also, let me know, what kind of lights do you use? These lights kind of suck. Plants do not grow well in these lights. Let me know what kind of lights you use, and let me know what kind of plants and substrate you guys use for a low tech, you know, low maintenance goldfish tank. So I'm really looking to make these things easier to keep. While I continue cleaning the glass on these tanks, I am gonna begin doing some water changes on them. And I'm gonna put that on time lapse because this is gonna take a while and I can't just stand here and talk for like 2 hours. So let the time lapse begin now. All of the tanks that needed changes have had their water changed. I also cleaned the glass on all the tanks, and that looks beautiful. Like when you're looking at the fish, you can see them super clearly, nothing blocking. How you doing, buddy? Oh, you just booped him. But anyway, yeah, you can now see through the glass very clearly. There's our Oreo, there's our wiener, there's our cheese ball. I just realized we have a wiener and a ball in the same. Inappropriate joke. Anyway, yeah. That's all for today's vlog. Luke Scoldies, out.